is The Bulletin with Larry Kane.
Ahead on this May 27th, 1994 edition of The Bulletin. This is Philadelphia's elite rescue team. When the unexpected happens, they leap into action, fighting fire, saving lives and preventing accidents from turning into tragedies.
Oh my God.
Walt Hunter gives us an up-close, on-the-scene look at the local heroes of Rescue 1. Everyone, and welcome to The Bulletin. In this town, in fact, throughout this area, there's a saying about firefighters. A firefighter is a hero the day he takes the job, and everything after that is in the line of duty. A lot of people really forget that fire work is low pay, high risk, and the only reward is really personal satisfaction. Tonight, you're going to meet a special group of firefighters. They don't always fight flame. They do difficult rescues of all kinds. When your life is on the line, believe me, you want the call to go out for Heavy Rescue 1 in Philadelphia. These men are the best of the best. KYW3's Walt Hunter takes you along with the people of Rescue 1 tonight. It's very real. When the going gets very tough, they get going.
This is the life of a firefighter. A firefighter from Rescue 1. These members of Rescue 1 are the only team in Philadelphia specially trained to perform complicated rescues called heavy rescues.
Oh my God.
When a plumber's apprentice was buried alive in a trench that collapsed, Rescue 1 responded.
Thank God for the firemen.
A man caught in factory machinery lost his leg to save his life. The boy rescued after being impaled on a wrought iron fence. The woman who tried to end her life in the river. Even animals saved from certain death. When Rescue 1 comes rolling up to an emergency like this one, you never know exactly what they're going to find. They get called out for every type of possible disaster in the city, and oftentimes lives are on the line when they arrive. Heavy rescues, like this one where a man fell from a window, are the very reasons why Rescue 1 was put into service 3 years ago. They have highly specialized equipment on a fire truck to end all fire trucks. Then there's all the equipment they carry on their backs. Firefighter Jimmy Kelly weighed in for us just to see how much he carries as he runs up flights of stairs in a fire.
Okay, it's $195 on the dot.
Every pocket in the jacket is stuffed with tools, gloves, even 75 feet of rope. The finishing touches, a 45-minute air pack and the helmet. The final weigh-in?
I have about 97 pounds on.
Now, add 50 pounds more in other tools to carry and run up 17 flights of stairs.
Well, you start running, but by the end, you're crawling.
The physical strength required to do the job also means strenuous training. These men were chosen from firefighters who volunteered to be part of Rescue 1.
Lighten up on the station.
We practice this on a regular basis. We're going to have a man in the window here who's going to simulate someone who has gotten trapped on the side of a building. We're going to have one man rappel down to him, hook him onto his line, and then bring him down to the ground to safety.
All right, job well done. We saved the person.
Thank you, thank you.
You do have enough rope.
But this is no training exercise. This is the 18th floor of the Penn Mutual building.
How far are you?
The fate of 2 window washers hangs from an unraveling cable on their scaffolding. A Rescue 1 firefighter lowered himself to the faulty platform.
The cables were about to pop on us, and like Batman, he came and saved us.
The Batman who rappelled to their rescue is firefighter Bob Snyder.
I tied a full body harness on him and attached another line to that. So he had 2 lines on him at all times. Now the second guy, I actually had to put a manufactured harness on, and we hauled him back up. What was it like for me?
Yeah.
It was exciting. It's what I joined the company for.
This is Batman Bob Snyder at sea level, finding therapy at the end of a fishing line instead of a safety line.
Stress relief. Now, you know why? Because it's just like fighting fires. Because you never know when the big one's going to hit in. You know?
Quick with a line, whether it's for a window washer or a fish. But like a lot of the other firefighters, there's an unspoken side to him.
I don't care if I never fight another fire again. I mean, there's, you know, a couple of reasons. Dangerous for me, and it's always somebody else's personal tragedy.
And Bob has something else to consider. He has a 15-year-old daughter who worries about him.
Does she worry a lot? She probably does. I don't know exactly what she thinks. I don't talk to her about it. Well, number one, I don't want to talk about it. You know? I don't want to talk about it. And I don't want her worrying more than she has to.
One split second can cost you your life.
Bill Schweitzer is a captain at Rescue 1.
I know myself, my children are quite young, and when I come in from work sometimes they're glued to the cartoons on the TV, and I can walk in and say, "Hi, kids," and they don't even turn around. Bugs Bunny's more important or whomever. And, you know, you feel, boy, do they know where I've been today or what I've done today? I almost didn't come home. But then, when tragedy does hit, when it's televised, you can see the intensity in the questions that they ask. Do you have to go to work tonight? You know what they really mean. If you do go, are you going to come home?
No one can predict who's coming home. Every night, it's a different story, and so is tonight. It started out with dinner for the whole company.
Spaghetti and sausage. Hot sausage and sweet sausage. And spaghetti, bread and butter.
You're out of here. Oh, I was talking to you guys.
The call is for Rescue 1 to travel from their station at 4th and Girard to help another company in the Northeast. There's a raging fire at a 7-Eleven on Castor Avenue.
Okay, 61.
Where we at, man? Straight. Go straight. Are we here? Let's go.
The fire is bigger than expected. People's houses are filling with smoke.
We're also evacuating the closest house.
A wall very close to the firemen is in danger of collapsing.
The way that roof's pushing out, looks like it might push up the back wall. This guy's here, the only problem. It's cracking at the top.
The smoke is overwhelming.
Get low. Move in. Get low.
By this time, crowds have gathered.
I want to put it under control. 72 to Battalion 12J. The fire under control. Okay, Chief.
Tommy.
Tired, wet, and hungry, firefighter Tony Reel takes the time to reassure this concerned boy.
You used to shop at that store?
Yeah, my mom sent me every time.
They did? Okay. It'll be open soon, okay? All right.
But there was no going back to the station for that dinner they left on the stove. Their wet clothes, reeking of smoke, had to be put on again. There was a window factory fire near Frankfurt Avenue.
You're to take a water line from Frankfurt Avenue down Oxford to the rear.
Lives and property are in jeopardy from a fire that looks like arson.
Fire report from Deputy 1. Reports you have water lines on the building all the way around.
Another fire under control.
What should I do? Make more spaghetti? Oh my God. They left this on.
Dinner is remade and reheated. 5 hours later, equipment is cleaned, faces washed, and at 1:09 in the morning,
Come and get it, gang.
Rescue 1 finally sits down for a spaghetti and sausage dinner. Then fatigue sets in, but the nature of the job says you must keep going. Someone else needs you. Another fire. This time it's a house fire. Several women got out of the house with a baby, and the rest of the neighbors watch helplessly. The firefighters walk away, weary. At 4:30 in the morning, Rescue 1 comes home again. But sometimes Rescue 1 is quiet. waiting to save someone from disaster, answering the call with unconditional commitment, and sometimes it's rewarded with catastrophe. Last January, a deadly church fire in South Philadelphia crippled scores of city firemen, smoke damaging their lungs. Then the unexpected happened. One of the men from Ladder 11 was trapped in the church's basement. Firefighter Vincent Acey from Rescue 1 went into the blaze to save him, but the fire took a tragic turn. They both died there, together.
We have a family here, and it's there's a true loss within our family. We go through all the stages of grief that anyone would go through in the loss of a family member. We get angry, we feel responsible, we go through sadness, we ask why, and it hurts.
Firefighters are a rare breed, and so are their families. Edith Acey knew what she was facing, married to a firefighter, and it left her a widow with their 15-year-old daughter, Kim.
He told me how dangerous the job was. He knew how dangerous the job was, but he wouldn't do anything else. Like, we'd be talking and he'd say something, like he'd say, you don't know how it is when you go into a building and you're crawling around. He said, and you don't know if there's floor ahead of you or not.
There have been some very close calls within Rescue 1's company. This one was captured on camera. That burning wall is about to collapse on the firemen down on the ground. Two men from Engine 29 were buried alive under tons of searing bricks.
We need people out here. We need everybody available.
Facing danger together brings them closer than brothers. And when disaster strikes, their loyalty is fierce.
Over there, go, we're ready. Take this guy right away, all right?
I work with some of the best firefighters on the planet. I'm very fortunate, because I know if anything happens to me, I know they're coming to get me. Absolutely.
Our goal is to save life and property, and with a little luck, we get to come home.
To have such a deep measure of respect for these guys. I mean, the commitment is amazing, and the courage.
It's an amazing unit, Larry.
They sleep there, I noticed. So how long are their shifts?
They do 2 14-hour night shifts, and in the slower companies, you actually get to sleep maybe during a 14-hour night shift, at least for a few hours. Rescue 1 virtually never gets to sleep. They're on the go all day and night, every kind of emergency.
How did this unit get started, and Walt, who paid for it?
Amazing, Larry. Would you believe it started as a Coca-Cola truck? About 5 years ago, under former Fire Commissioner Olshafer, they needed the truck, they needed the unit, they didn't have the money, the city didn't have the money. They went hat in hand to private industry. They wound up with an old pumper and an old Coca-Cola truck. You know, the one where you pull the sides up? Painted them red, came in on their own time to rehab them, and that was the beginning of Rescue 1. Now, of course, they have a modern, up-to-date piece of apparatus, but that was how it all began, with their dedication, and all of the equipment, Larry, was donated by private industry, every piece of equipment on that unit.
There must be a waiting line to get into Rescue 1, I would imagine.
Like any busy company, firefighters you would think would go for the safer route, perhaps? No way. They go for the busiest and the toughest companies. Getting into Rescue 1 is an honor, and they'll pull strings, stand in line, do whatever they have to do to get in there, into the most dangerous of all work, if you can believe it.
And they are the elite, there's no question, on the Philadelphia Fire Department.
No question about it. These are the men with the seniority, and the men who, quite frankly, in the word of mouth among firefighters, this is the guy you want in Rescue 1, and that's how they get in there.
Thanks, Walt. Always great to have you on the broadcast.
Thanks, Mike.
When the Bulletin returns.